When we think of the Straw Hats, we often think of laughter, epic fights, emotional moments, and of course, wild, impossible dreams. That's kind of the whole point of One Piece, right? A group of misfits chasing the craziest goals around the most dangerous seas in the world. And we're sure they're gonna achieve that no matter what because they have huge plot armor. But what if I told you not every Straw Hat will get a happy ending? Let's take a moment to go through each Straw Hat's dream, but before that, don't forget to like the video. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King, but not just to become the strongest or the richest. Luffy's dream is about freedom. He wants to be the freest person in the world. His goal is tied directly to Joy Boy, the Void Century, and the very core of what One Piece truly is. Zoro wants to be the world's greatest swordsman. Simple, right? Just beat Mihawk and call it a day. But Zoro's dream isn't about pride, it's about keeping a promise. A childhood promise to a girl who couldn't chase her own dreams. That gives his goal weight and pressure. If he fails, it's not just his failure, it's hers too. And with the kinds of battles he's heading into, he might win the title but lose something else along the way. Nami dreams of drawing a map of the entire world. Not a boring Google Maps version, a beautiful hand-drawn masterpiece of every island, every corner of the Grand Line. For someone who grew up trapped in a world she didn't choose, that dream represents freedom. But with how chaotic the world is becoming, islands vanishing, entire continents in danger, will there even be a world left to map? We'll come back to this later. This video isn't about whether the Straw Hats achieve their dreams or not. Even if they do, it might not end well for some of them. Usopp wants to become a brave warrior of the sea. He's already come a long way from the liar and syrup village. Elbaf alcohol makes him super confident too, but deep down, Usopp is still scared. Sanji dreams of finding the All Blue, a magical sea where fish from every ocean gather in one place. A cook's paradise. Chopper wants to cure every disease. He wants to be the best doctor in the world. But there are some illnesses you can't treat with medicine. Some scars go way deeper than the skin. Robin wants to uncover the true history. She spent her entire life being hunted just for knowing how to read poneglyphs. And now, with the poneglyphs, Joy Boy and Void Century all slowly coming together, her dream is closer than ever. Frankie wants to build a ship that reaches the end of the world. Done. He already built the Thousand Sunny, the coolest ship in the series. But Frankie's dream isn't just about construction. Frankie wants to be part of something eternal. The Sunny reaching the final island would fulfill that. Brook wants to reunite with Laboon. That little whale waiting at Reverse Mountain is still out there, still waiting after all these years. Brook's entire journey has been about keeping that promise. Jinbei wants a world where fishmen and humans are equal. His dream might be the most real and the hardest. He's seen injustice, slavery, racism. He's fought for peace again and again, and he still believes it's possible, but changing the world takes more than belief. Their dreams are achievable. Luffy has to become strong enough to defeat Blackbeard and the world government. Zoro has to defeat Mihawk or whoever ends up being the strongest swordsman. Nami, Frankie, Robin, and Brook just need to reach Laugh Tale. Robin and Frankie will fulfill their dreams automatically, Nami will finish her map, and Brook will finally reunite with Laboon. Usopp can become the bravest warrior at any time. Everything seems really easy. All they have to do is reach Laugh Tale and find the One Piece. But even if they achieve their dreams, is it guaranteed they'll get a happy ending? Let's start with the most obvious one, and then we'll move on to the other Straw Hats. I'll show you some hidden details you might not have noticed. The most obvious one is, of course, Brook. People have been talking about this for years. Out of all the Straw Hats, Brook probably has the simplest and sweetest dream. He just wants to reunite with his old friend Laboon, the giant whale who's been waiting for him at Reverse Mountain for over 50 years. He's going to see Laboon again. He's going to play Bing Sake on his violin. Laboon is going to recognize the melody and cry big whale tears. But Brook's ending will most likely be sad. He is immortal. He already died once, and his devil fruit, the Yomi Yomi no Mi, brought him back. His body is just bones. He doesn't age, he doesn't get sick, he doesn't even need to eat or sleep. That means he's going to outlive everyone. After Luffy becomes Pirate King, after the final war is over, after the Straw Hats go their separate ways or settle down, or, let's be honest, after they start passing away from old age or battle wounds, Brook will still be around. Brook will be the last Straw Hat standing, the one who remembers everything and everyone. Just like how he remembered Roger when he was just a rookie, or how he somehow remembered the Holy Knights in the current chapter. Even if Brook becomes a traveling musician or tells stories of the Straw Hats for generations to come, the truth is, he won't get a happily ever after like the others might. In the end, he might even outlive Laboon. There's no other way. Even if he somehow dies in the story, it'll still be a tragic ending. I wonder what Oda has planned for that. Now let's move on to Usopp. Usopp isn't strong like Zoro. He doesn't have a devil fruit like Luffy or Robin. He's scared a lot of the time, he overthinks, and he constantly doubts himself. But that's exactly what makes his dream meaningful. Being brave doesn't mean being fearless. It means doing the right thing even when you're afraid. That's Usopp in a nutshell. Throughout the series, Usopp has lied a lot. It's one of his defining traits. And Oda has built a pattern around those lies. They often come true later in the story. He lied about commanding 8,000 men, about defeating giant monsters, and one by one, those lies slowly turned into reality. He once mentioned that he'd be happy if someday he lost everything and faced death alone on a deserted island. I don't think that's far from the truth. It's very possible that Usopp will actually achieve his dream by dying a hero in the final battle. It wouldn't be a flashy or overpowered moment. It wouldn't be about strength. It would be about heart, about courage, about facing fear and choosing to protect others no matter what. Usopp has always struggled with believing in himself. He might die thinking he still wasn't good enough, when in reality, he became one of the bravest people in the entire story. If this happens, Usopp's death would hit hard. Not just because we'd lose a beloved character, but because it would complete one of the most relatable and realistic dreams in One Piece. The boy who once ran away from pirates would die fighting for his crew. He might die with a smile, sacrificing himself like he once said. But in the bigger picture, it would still be a tragic ending. In past arcs, some people have speculated that Luffy won't become Pirate King, but I think that's absurd. I believe Luffy will achieve his dream, just like Frankie and Nami. They seem like the three who will reach their goals without too many issues. But like Roger, Luffy might face problems after becoming the Pirate King. He's already had multiple near-death experiences. His gear forms put unnatural strain on his body. Ivankov also used hormone-based powers on him. So yeah, Luffy's health might be in danger. But I don't think he'll die. That's why he has Chopper, and we'll come back to Chopper later. Robin's dream is directly tied to the world's darkest secret, the Void Century. She spent her entire life being hunted just for wanting to know the truth. It would be thematically powerful if Robin discovers the true history and then dies. However, while it would be tragic, I think it's a bit too predictable for Oda. Sanji is less likely to die as well. He's already had a tragic backstory. Germa, Baratier, Whole Cake Island. He's been through a lot. To me, Sanji seems more likely to survive, find the All Blue, and maybe open a restaurant with Zeph. He's suffered enough. Kind of similar to Robin in that sense. As for Zoro, the only reason I see for a tragic ending is if he sacrifices himself and his dream for Luffy. If that happens, it would easily be one of the saddest moments in anime history. But I still think it's unlikely. Jinbei is similar. He might achieve his goal, equality between fishmen and humans, but he may have to sacrifice himself for it. That's debatable. Still, the third Straw Hat I truly believe might have a tragic ending, alongside Brook and Usopp, is Chopper, and I'll explain why. The theory that devil fruits will disappear at the end of One Piece has become more popular in recent years, especially after Oda revealed the ancient mural. Even without it, the idea makes sense. Oda has hinted that devil fruits aren't just random magical objects. They are the manifestations of people's desires to become something more than human. This suggests they're man-made, possibly using science, willpower, and ancient technology. Most likely created during the time of the Great Kingdom during the Void Century. Maybe it's even connected to Emu, who will be defeated at the end of One Piece. The world after the final war might be very different. So free of violence, hierarchy, and oppression that people no longer need devil fruits to become strong. The dream of the D-Clan, Joy Boy, the Great Kingdom, it wasn't about giving people powers. It was about freeing them from the need for power. If this long-standing theory turns out to be true, it means that at the end of the story, even if everyone survives, Chopper won't be a human anymore. He'll be a regular deer. Of course, the Straw Hats will still love him. but he'll lose his voice, his personality, his medical knowledge. It would be incredibly sad. And we don't know what will happen to Brook if his devil fruit vanishes. Luffy, Robin, and most characters will be fine, but what about Brook? Will he die instantly like Saturn? Will he be 90 years old and alive? The best possible outcome might be that Brook stays alive but becomes mortal again, finally able to die someday. And Chopper becomes just a deer, which would still feel tragic. So honestly, I don't see how Oda will manage to end the story in a way where Brook, Chopper, Usopp, or even the rest all get a happy ending. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.